Dear students, we are continuing our discussion on fourth module. In first part, we have discussed about the industrial relation, fatigue, and then communication. In this lecture, we are discussing about industrial safety. Okay, basically, industrial safety is a primarily management activity. Basically, of course, safety is a activity of the all employees in the industry, but the major concern is for management. For what? For reducing and controlling and finally eliminate the hazard from industry and industry unit. We need to reduce the hazard, we need to control the hazard, or we need to eliminate the hazard from industry and industrial units. So what are the objectives of industrial safety? As we know, to provide protection for the each worker in the industry, to provide protection for each asset they have, to provide a healthy, safe and hygienic condition in the industry, to protect from all risk and hazards, to provide prevention of accidents on machinery and occupational hazards. To basically industrial safety is for the protection and well-being of the industrial people or the workers, and as well as the machinery they have. Basically, what is the significance of industrial safety? As we know that if an industry causes a great loss to both employee as well as the asset they have. If something if some accidents are happen to an employee there, we need a cost of compensation is the cost of medical aid is the cost of training to new employees are the cost of load time is the cost of supervision is the government cost for government machineries are the cost for materials are the cost for the damage of machineries are there are many costs associated with that. So avoiding that type of loss, we need to reduce the type of accidents happen in the industry. So basically, why we need safety? If an employee feels that he is safe, it's increase the rate of production. Of course, if the layout and other things are on order, it's reduce the production cost, reduce damage, prevention of the death and for prevention of death and other accidents for the talent workers, and also it's also will give a good working environment. So we need to provide better, safer working conditions for the employees. So, how will ensure that an industry having a safety, or industry, how to increase the safety in industry, or what are the measures we can take to ensure that industrial conditions are safe? The four things areas we can discuss, that one is safety committee, another one is safety programs, third one is safety instructions and training, fourth one is educating employees. What is a safety committee? It consists of executives, supervisors, and shop floor workers. Basically, it's a committee which represents all level of employees, from the basic worker to the supervisors to the final the managers. This committee will ensure that the safety procedures are happening in industry in a very good manner. It communicates the all needs of the employees related to safety. So all industry should have a safety committee. That's the first thing we need to ensure. Second one is safety programs. By hearing the term safety programs, this does not mean that it's a event. Programs, safety programs are the all initiatives, all the activities we are doing to ensure safety. One, basically it discover when, where and why the accidents are occur. A committee, safety committee or other panels will try to avoid all levels of accidents, all possibilities of accidents in the industry. It try to reduce the influence of personal and environmental factor to cause accidents. Third one is safety instruction and training. Is essential for educating employees to think, act, and work safely. Then the accidents can be minimized. So we need to provide different types of trainings for the employee safety programs. We need to formulate the safety committee. We need to give training to safety committee. We need to train the supervisors. We need to train the each worker about the procedures they have to do regarding the safety. And finally, one, educating employees and to develop a safety consciousness. We need to make awareness that safety practices in their daily life. It's not a it's want to be in their work schedule. It should be want in the platform they are doing, then only is going to be work. So displaying posters, displaying the different charts, displaying the good practices, displaying the bad practices. Like we need to ensure that the safety is a part of their working culture. That should be the first thing we need to ensure. One term we need to discuss along with the safety is personal protective devices, usually it's called PPE. We know that many employees are working in industry in many conditions, maybe in machineries, with temperature, with noise, many things are there. So various types of personal protective devices and clothes should be extensively for personal work industry for safety measures. Basically, it helps us to effective manner between a person for harmful objects, substance or radiation, whatever it may be. Say, PPE will be personal protective devices will be help the employees for for better safety. So generally two types of personal protective devices are there. One general classification may be non-respiratory protective devices. Second classification might be respiratory protective devices. So what are the different non-respiratory protective devices? Which personal protective devices for the various parts of the body? That is non-respiratory protective devices. The major thing can be head protection, eye and face protection, hand and arm protection, foot, leg and body protection. We all know that head protection, usually we are using helmets, hats, caps which made of aluminum, PVC, etc., which help the employee from protecting their head. Eyes and face protection, we know that there are many dust, flying particles, harmful radiation should be there, so they have to be used different types of goggles, helmets, etc., for the eye and face protection. Hand and arm protection is another area. They have to use gloves, miltons, hand guards, hand pads, sleeves, etc. for hand protection. Foot and leg protection, for they have to wear shoes, boots, foot guards, etc. And for the body protection, there are many jackets are there, overalls are there. These all are non-respiratory devices. Along with that, respiratory protective devices are there which help the worker from the toxic dust, fumes, smokes, mist, vapors, gases. What are the devices which supply of air, which supplies the air, and also devices which purifying the air. Both can be a devices for used for personal protective devices. So these are about the safety and other personal protective devices usually used in industry. Along with that, we also need to know that industrial accidents can happen in the industry. It can be unexpected events that occur in the industry. It can be damage. It can be due to mechanical factors. We will, I think, because of shorter time, we will connect the cause of industrial accidents to mechanical factors are the environmental factors are the unsafe factor of individuals are the usually two type of cost are there with the accident, that is direct cost and one is indirect cost. Direct cost is the cost associated with the medical care or hospitalization. Indirect cost is the cost due to the lower production of workers, etc. So we need to know the economic dimension of accident, that is direct cost as well as indirect cost. These terms you have to be remember, direct cost as well as indirect cost. In this lecture, we discussed about the accidents and the personal protective devices and finally industrial safety. For a better working environment, we need to ensure that we will provide a safer environment. In next session, we will discuss more about this session.